Figure Force is the codename of a group of daring, middle-aged, highly obsessed toy bloggers. Its purpose: to bring toy reviews and nostalgia to YouTube and Instagram. Video sharing websites that allow users to upload, view, share and comment. Hi, I'm Rudy Zissou, and it's Morphin time! Well, I've obviously wanted to say that like forever. But anyways, back when I did my top toys of 2021, I had mentioned that the Power Rangers Lightning Collection had been an absolute revelation to me in the middle of the year. So much so that I picked up 3 characters and I looked back into the line because it's been going a few years and it was not on my radar. And I really did not think that this character was going to get made. There's obviously X amount of Power Ranger series now that they've got the whole pick of what characters and who to make. So when Finster got revealed back in, I think it was October, I obviously wet my pants because I think he's my actual favourite character of them all. And he doesn't even fight. He is just the brains behind all of the crazy monsters that he comes with from his imagination. So here we have himself. Before I've even got it out of the box, looking at it, I can see how incredible the possibility of this figure is going to be. A couple of things I'm going to guess at is that his mouth moves, but I can just see incredible amounts of moulded detail. But let's have a look at the box first. When I first got a couple of the figures, King Sphinx and Goldar, I wasn't really overly enamoured with the boxes, but I've kind of not got used to them, but I've kind of learned to appreciate them a little bit more. If you're an inbox collector, they are pretty spot on actually, because you get a huge window where you can see practically all of the figure, and there's only kind of say a handful of accessories hidden, and then you do get just very clean imagery, albeit perhaps overly modern and graphic for some people, but I'm slowly getting into it. If you have them straight face on your shelf, or even bespoke racking so it can go on a peg, definitely good for inbox collectors. And then on the back you always get excellent toy photography showcasing you how you compose the figures. It kind of gives you an idea of what you can actually do. I can see that his rolling pin, and there is extra space here for his, I'm going to call it a blade, his putty implement. This accessory, well, that's blatantly going to get lost, isn't it? But yeah, you get to see just how you can pose them. So he's a little bit smaller than say some of the others, that's for sure, but I reckon it's going to make up for it for the pure detail, and 8 accessories for sure. Let's see what he's like free of his plastic prison. So here is Finster free, and oh my god, this is phenomenal. This is not just one of the best in the Lightning Collection, this is one of the best action figures I've handled in a while. It looks like he jumped off the screen, and considering his much smaller stature compared to Goldar and King Sphinx, he's literally just as heavy. He does have his articulated mouth, which is perfect. I was really hoping that he'd do that, but his face sculpt is absolutely spot on. So little tendrils on his ears and the back of his hair, they're rubbery plastic, so there is literally no fear of those snapping off. And the same goes with his spectacles, which do have plastic in them, although it's that rubbery, malleable plastic, but it is a clear lens, if not a plastic lens. Again, rubbery, so they are not going to break. But all over the figure, on every garment of clothing, is just fold beyond fold. Neatly done tie to his apron. And then all that moulded detail on the front with his weapons, with his putty making implements. They are pretty savage looking though. But yeah, space for his rolling pin and his serrated, curved putty implement, yeah, which obviously is going to slide in there. Removable magnifying glass. I've switched out his hand so he can hold. I guess, do you know what that is? That his like moulding scalpel. You know, I obviously know nothing about pottery and clay making by alien hands, but yeah, that's that, and it fits in that hand a lot better than the stock hand it came with. But yeah, I've tried to replicate the back of the box just so we can see all of the figure. Little dangling earrings. As I said, this looks like it jumped off the screen, and it really has brought so much to the figure. You know, he doesn't go out, on the battlefield at all. But when he does, he carries his suitcase full of putties, which you get as an accessories. And these two come out. You have one with a ball and one with a lance. Yeah, and then obviously folds up for him to carry. These accessories are awesome. Do you know what? I say it on so many videos. It's always the accessories that, add that final touch and bring a figure to life. Incredible bits of articulation. So we have got, a little ankle pivot as well as an ankle swivel, knee swivel, legs go backwards and forwards. There's obviously a bit of hindrance with his cape, but in some ways you don't need to be overly action posed for Finster, but there's definitely some other poses you can see. A quick switch out of the hands, and he can hold his putty case and rolling pin with ease, and then a little spread of the legs and ankles just to give him a bit more of a defined look as opposed to the stock photograph on the back. And there is enough articulation for him to peruse his own little putty man creation. How does he scale with the other two figures I have? Figure Force will return after these messages.
It's the mighty Morphin Power Rangers, teenage defenders of Earth. The Power Rangers are driven by the power of the ancient dinosaurs. Lately, evil space aliens have become a real safety hazard. Earth's only hope, the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah? No one can stop us. Just let them try. Okay.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, too hot to handle. It's Megazord. When evil space aliens threaten Earth, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, in their Dinozords, morph to become the Megazord. The Megazord is part of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ultimate Battle System.
Hey, I thought you were driving. Me? I thought you were.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, too hot to handle.
We now return to Figure Force. So I said 2, but I actually mean 3, obviously. 2 baddies and 1 goodie. So here he is with Trini, the Yellow Ranger. So they're quite comparable. Obviously the Power Rangers, the female Power Rangers, are quite slender and athletic. There's so much more heft to Finster, but I think they scale really well. Obviously they're teenagers, they're tiny. Here with another one of Rita Repulsa's guys, the mighty Goldar. As you can see, Goldar's got some serious height on Finster and is a lot broader, but they are super complementary to each other. They work fantastic. I love seeing these two together on the screen. And finally, with this absolute mamma jamma, he absolutely towers over Finster. But then again, you know, he's a giant creature who even grows in size when Rita sends down her stuff. So he's always going to be massively oversized compared to the other guys. But again, it's just, they're so complementary. All the figures with the moulded detail and the delicate shading. They just, any figure sits good in the range. That's for sure. Finster is a big recommend from me, whether or not you're a Power Rangers fan. If you're a Power Rangers fan, then yeah, this is an absolute recommend. He is key to anyone's collection, that's for sure. Any of like Rita Repulsa's gang is. I really hope the other characters get made, that's for sure. But even if you're just an action figure fan, or you just like otherworldly creatures, this would be a great addition to any action figure collection. And regardless of scale, it would look good against any other toy. Hasbro's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Finster. Being strong and powerful is wonderful, but you know what? There are some things even more wonderful. Things like imagination and intelligence. In many episodes, it's not just the Power Rangers' strength that saves them, it's just as much their clever minds and quick thinking. Exercising so you can be as strong as possible is a good idea, but exercising your mind, like reading books and finding out things you don't already know, is also a good idea. And knowing is half the battle.